An ex-soldier, played by Paddy Considine, returns to his small hometown with the intention of finding and tormenting the malicious thugs who manipulated, assaulted, and abused his mentally challenged brother years before. What begins with implementing tactics to intimidate the group eventually develops into organised and elaborate plots to murder them one by one, as Paddy Considine's Richard becomes an angel of death in the search of vengeance. This is Shane Meadows' Dead Man's Shoes. The film was initially met with a mixed critical reception, currently sitting with a 52% on review aggregate website Rotten Tomatoes, with some film review publications such as Empire and the AV Club praising the film, Empire giving the film 4 stars where the AV Club gave the film a B+ rating, whereas other reviewers were less than positive. For example, a review from Entertainment Weekly states that in the end the film's more pulp than juice, implying a lack of substance. Despite this mixed reception, Shane Meadows and Dead Man's Shoes have earned a dedicated following amongst fans of the independent British filmmaking scene. 2 years later, Shane Meadows would go on to direct one of his most critically acclaimed films, This Is England, and has most recently received praise for his work writing and directing the TV miniseries The Virtues. Dead Man's Shoes' key strength is Paddy Considine's performance. Grizzled, motivated, and often terrifying as he intimidates both through overt insults and standing his ground to more covert operations as his intentions ramp up, wearing a gas mask to hide his identity. This intensity is extreme and uncomfortable. Richard is not a character to be on the wrong side of. However, in contrast to this aggression and cold calculating vengeance, a sensitivity and intimacy is also expressed with the relationship between Richard and his mentally challenged younger brother Anthony, played by Toby Kebbell. In these scenes, Richard is sensitive, calm and collected, yet it is always clear in the back of his mind the reminder of his brother's negative experience with these thugs. Richard's character motivations are clear, and when the viewer discovers the extent of cruelty that Anthony experienced towards the end of the film, it isn't hard to empathise with the extent that Richard goes to achieve his vengeance, even if some of these gritty sequences of vengeance may be difficult to watch for some viewers. The film's presentation also adds to the genuine sense of British gritty realism, condensing the gritty violence of Guy Ritchie's best-known films into a more lo-fi presentation with a handheld camera, while also transferring the big city violence to a smaller scale location, a rural town in the Midlands, exaggerates the sense of realism. Such violence can happen on a small scale too, and in between the violence the film also intends to capture the awkward silences and the petty squabbles of small town crooks on the edge. With this attention to detail, the film has a sense of intimacy not seen in more polished British grit films. The crooks and thugs are not well organised and fear for their lives. Some of the protagonist's own actions seem to imply his own personal struggle with mental health, and some scenes have a surprising sense of humour too, despite the disturbing tone consistent throughout the film. With these aspects, Dead Man's Shoes achieves a unique status that is between the classic grit of British crime films and a revealing sense of personal vulnerability and intimacy typically found in British realist cinema. In conclusion, despite the film's critically mixed reception, Shane Meadows' film Dead Man's Shoes is a unique achievement in melding the gritty British crime genre with the conventions of British realist cinema. Alongside this, the film's impact is aided by Paddy Considine's performance, which explores the extent of aggression and vengeance while never losing focus on that which motivates him.